let's...
Vale.
Either I throw the guild under the bus, or I get on the bad side of a terrifying merc captain. Oh, could this get any worse? Get it together, Yehoda. Focus on the hot dog you're gonna treat yourself to after today is over. One thing at a time. All right. You've got this.
Let's try not to get too worked up, all right?
Don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of this. I swear. What happened?
¿Qué pasó?
You're here. Please, you've got to help me, Traveler. A theft at the expo is gonna ruin the guild's reputation. A theft? How did that happen? You're asking me. The guild has people keeping watch over the storage area for this exact reason. And it just had to happen to one of the scariest people here. Beto? Wait, that means...
¿Alguien ha robado las balistas?
The guild asked us to keep our goods stored on the designated shelves. I had a few prototypes that I was using for demonstration, which I had stored there. But when I came to check on things just now, I noticed that all of them had been stolen.
And each ballista is super dangerous. If they fall in...
Well, all the prototypes have a failsafe designed to prevent unauthorized use, so it could be worse. Still, we should get them back as soon as possible.
Claro.
The guild will make sure of that. If you could just keep this between us for now, we would be super appreciative. Do we have to tell her?
Oh.
Honesty is the best policy. That's what he taught us.
Bueno, esa voz es muy grande como para
I
ser
know,
unos cabros
it's
chicos.
just...
Parece que fueron ellos. Bueno.
Miss Yehoda... What are you three doing here?
There's something you want to tell me, isn't there?
Well, Neb's been obsessed with the ballistas ever since we got here. That's why Uncle Ashpapati told us to come see your booth. It seemed like he was interested in them too, because he even told us what parameters to ask about.
Parámetro.
Ever since this morning, we haven't been able to reach him. We wanted to ask Miss Yehoda for help, but then we heard about the ballistas
Espera,
being
que
stolen.
el tío sea un espía o un ladrón.
And?
I don't think Uncle Ashpapati would do something like that, but...
Pero, ¿y si lo amenazaron?
Ashpapati works for the guild. He has access to the storage warehouse, so he could get inside without the guards getting suspicious. Wait, so now it's an inside job? Oh, jeez. The guild is never gonna recover from this.
He made those toys the kids were selling, right? They don't look like much on the outside, but I bet they're hiding some serious tech. If he's a tech guy, those fail-safes I mentioned might not have our
Chucha.
backs after all.
So, this just went from bad to worse. Oh, uh-oh.
¿Se está actuando solo o estará relacionado con algo criminal?
Could be. I mean, let's put it this way. There aren't a whole lot of people that could manage to stay off Yelan's
pues, bueno.
radar.
Si hayan burlado a Yelan, eso es brigio, po. Oye, si ni la Nefre puede hacerlo, pues bueno.
Why don't you take these kids to the curatorium and see what you can learn? I've got things covered here.
Got it. Hold up. We can't hold these kids responsible, though. Right? No, of course not, but... how do we explain this?
You want to look out for these kids, don't you?
I promised I would. Besides, they're innocent in all
Claro.
this.
Good, because I'm looking out for them too. That's why I want to find their uncle as soon as possible. No matter what he did or didn't do, it's worse for them if he's missing.
I guess we're on the same page then.
Take these kids to the curatorium. I'll update Yelan and tell her to meet you there.
Will do!
Vengan, cabros.
Bring it!
Wow. Oh. Me rompí las piernas.
Bring it!
Con las cuentas.
Well, this complicates things. Here I was hoping the trouble would start and end with you two. But no matter. This will all make for a very engaging story.
I wouldn't be so flippant. This time, it's one of yours causing trouble. I'm starting to wonder if all those agents we captured were just a distraction, so the real culprit could make their move.
También podría ser.
It's all still up in the air right now. What can you three tell us about Ashvapati?
Uncle Ashvapati isn't our real uncle, but he is our guardian. He adopted us when we were little.
Que siguen siendo pequeños, pues.
He told us we all came from the same band of Eremites in the desert. But apparently, we're the only ones left. We've been traveling from place to place with him for as long as I can remember. We got to Nagcry not too long ago.
Their eyes.
What about them?
I'm just reminded of something. About a decade ago, there was a band of Eremites who, seemingly out of nowhere, gained technological capabilities far surpassing those of other groups.
Oh.
Leveraging that advantage, they built a number of highly advanced weapons and sold them to the highest bidder. The conflicts in the desert became even bloodier as a result. While the other groups were tearing each other to shreds, these newly minted arms traders stood by and reaped the spoils. But before long, their own weapons were turned against them. And as the flames of conflict engulfed the desert, the group met their end. None of the weapons survived, and so in the wake of that destruction, the status quo of the desert was restored.
That's terrible.
In the desert, it's kill or be killed. People will stop at nothing to gain the
Claro.
upper hand. If this happened in Fontaine or Liyue, I'm sure the perpetrators would have been prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But in the desert,
Exactamente. En el desierto no
one
hay
bats an
ley, po.
eye. From what they've told us, sounds like these kids are orphans from that particular band of Eremites.
Which means their guardian is likely one of the few survivors as well.
O sea, los supervivientes de esa banda de los eremitas han vuelto a negociar de armas.
Sounds like it.
No! Uncle Ashvapati would never do something like that! No matter what happened back then, I know one thing for sure. Uncle Ashvapati hates weapons. Sure, he's good at building things, but all he does is make toys for us to play with. He can't be the kind of person you're making him out to be.
I'm sorry. All we can do is act upon the facts.
So, what's our next move?
From our interrogations, we've learned that in 2 days, the person behind all this has a meeting planned to collect the goods. If all goes well, we can head to the pickup point and ambush them. But
Vale.
if Ashvapati is part of this and the leader learns what happened, there's no chance he risks himself for his agents. So, that meeting might as well be moot.
Then let's focus our efforts on Ashvapati for now. If we find him, he
Zapto.
might just lead us. If he stole the prototypes, there's bound to be a trail. I'm confident I can track him down. I just need some time.
What can I do to help?
I work best in the shadows. The more people involved, the harder it is to operate. As soon as I've got a location, though, he's all yours. You let me handle the search, and I'll let the special patrol handle the seizure.
That does sound like the most feasible plan. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Seizure?
Hey! Don't worry too much right now. The most important thing is that we find your uncle.
Claro.
The rest can wait.
Okay.
Looks like I'll need to enlist your services for a bit longer, traveler.
¿Quién se recibe el pago? Espera 2 días.
We just got word from Yelan. Looks like she managed to track down Ashvapati. Come on!
Voy, boludo.
Let's go meet up with the others.
Vale. Tuki, tuki, tu, tuki, tu.
Took me a bit longer than I expected, but I found where he's hiding.
Let me just be sure of one thing. We're dealing with someone who has extremely dangerous weaponry in his hands. If it comes to it, are you prepared to handle the worst-case scenario?
Absolutely. You just need to trust us, just like we trusted you earlier.
Yeah, we've got this. My crew's already locked and loaded.
I'll take you at your word.
Vale.
I know you said you wanted to keep this operation small, but I still thought you could use some backup. So, I chose a few promising young Spina members to help out. Clarand and I have got things covered at the expo.
Vale.
Yes, we're ready to roll then.
Now that you're here, I guess we can get this show on the road.
Vamos.
Wait!
I'm sorry, you can't come with us. You need to stay at the expo like we agreed. It's for your own safety.
We know. It's just... Do you really think Uncle Ashvapati is working for the bad guys?
I wish I could answer that question, but it would just be speculation. And I work based off evidence.
Exacto. Puede que lo hayan amenazado también, po.
He's been gone for 2 days now, and he just left us here. He's never done that before. Maybe he really is working for those people and was afraid of getting caught. But if that's true, then that means he must have been involved in making and selling weapons in the past too. Wouldn't that make him a bad person?
That's not for us to say. Take a look around the expo. There are plenty of other people making and selling weapons. Doesn't mean they're necessarily all bad people.
Really?
The same is true for your uncle. Whatever he may have done in the past, the real question we need to ask is why. There's a lot we need to know before we can judge a person.
Exactamente, hay que saber
In
por qué.
Fontaine, we have a long and complicated process in place just to make sure we get the right answer to that question.
Yeah. Why would Uncle Ashvapati do something like that?
How about this? I'll make sure that Miss Chevras and Miss Yelan promise to bring your uncle back safe and sound. Then you can ask him yourselves.
Thanks, miss.
This situation is complicated and unpredictable. Isn't it a bit early to be making those... It's all right. We're prepared for whatever we might face.
Regardless, it's a promise we have to keep. After all, when the children get their answer, it will shape their understanding of what justice means.
Exacto.
Then, let's all do our part to make sure this ends as well as it possibly can.
Bueno, tengo que ir. Hola, Santiago.
Santiagoa dice, otro juego de pechugonas.
Obvio, siempre. Bueno, Amber no tiene tanta personalidad. Y Furina tampoco, es una tabla. Comida.
Bring it.
¿Cómo está mi estimado? ¿Cómo le baila la vida? ¿Cómo lo maltratan hoy? ¿Dónde está oculto este weón? Ah. Vale. Más rápido con este P. What the fuck, weón? Bueno.
Another
Que
target
había
tracked down
imanes
by
ahí, po.
Outrider Amber.
No quiero ver hacer eso. Yo. Puta.
Jean will be upset if she.
Vale.
Stop right there!
Where is he?
We missed him.
Looks like he left behind plenty of evidence, though. Search the area. Let's see if we can find a lead.
Uy, la cuestión.
These records look suspiciously familiar.
Yeah. Doesn't seem very coincidental to me either.
What is it?
Remember when I said this group's cover was ironclad? They were always careful never to leave a trail leading back to them. The
Claro.
one time they slipped up, it broke the case wide open. We found a cargo manifest left behind at the scene. That's the clue that led us to Nodcry.
It was a similar story on our end.
And now that same manifest shows up here, among the records left behind by Ashvapati.
So, he's the guy that slipped up back then?
Ah, puede que sea un doble agente.
Unless it wasn't a slip up at all. How does the same clue get left behind at two separate scenes and picked up by two separate law enforcement agencies? Thinking back on it now, it doesn't seem quite so accidental
Claro.
after all.
No. Almost like he led us here on purpose. But for what reason?
Que quizá aquí se iban a juntar más gente importante, po. Entonces ahora vamos a caer todos juntitos.
Hey, there's a letter here.
Look at how it's positioned. It was begging to be found. I think it might be for us.
You think he knew we would come here?
If he did, he's a more impressive opponent than I anticipated.
Let's keep going. We can read it together when we debrief.
Lo que dice la carta, pues, weón.
Is this what Paimon thinks it is?
It's the display model that goes with the prototype. Guess that does make him our thief.
What's worse is that, with his technical background, I bet he managed to bypass the security features on the prototype.
You're saying our guy has a battle-ready ballista in his possession, just waiting to be unleashed?
Chucha.
Oh, this isn't looking good.
Something isn't adding up. All the evidence suggests that he was here alone. Which begs the question, why would he unlock the ballista's features before even meeting up with his boss?
That's a question for another time. We need to focus on where he's going next.
This situation seems more complicated than we imagined. It looks like Ashvapati does have a connection to our criminal gang, but it might not be what we thought at first.
Ujú. Eso mismo
You
estoy
don't think
cachando.
he's working for them?
Unlikely. He lured us to Nodcry, prepared those weapons on his own, deliberately put us on his trail. This is looking more and more like the work of an independent actor.
Well, if we want to get to the bottom of this, he's still our best lead.
A ver, ¿qué dice la carta?
That would
Sí,
seem to
pues
be
bueno.
our last remaining clue.
To the officers of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol and the Liyue Qixing, you certainly live up to your reputation. Within a single day, you were able to eliminate over half of the gang's forces. I appreciate the effort. I doubt my secret hiding spot will be a secret much longer. So I suppose it's my turn to throw my hat in the ring. I'm just glad I no longer have to run. So, before my day in court is upon me.
Chucha. ¿Qué está cargando? ¿Una animación?
It all started with a Kashara War researcher, expelled from the academia for violating a taboo.
Infligieron tabú.
He had dedicated his life to the pursuit of knowledge. But when he found himself in the desert, could you spare some water?
Ya era viejo,
I'm a
po, weón.
Kashara War researcher. If you need something, I could.
Researchers like you are a dime a dozen. Smart as a whip until you find yourself in the desert. Then, you're lucky to survive the night.
Are you mocking me?
No, son. Just still trying to figure out why I've got such a soft spot for strays like you. Here, give me your canteen. You got somewhere to go?
Not really. Thanks to this water, though. At least I can rule out the bottom of a vulture's stomach.
Now you're talking like desert folk. You could
What would I do?
gather food, guard our water source, just like everyone else I've taken in. Of course, if you have something you're good at, you're welcome to show it off. Every little...
All I know is weapons.
Weapons?
Yeah, I love studying them. Big and powerful ones, small and deadly ones, old ones, new ones. I believe the essence of Kashara War research is embodied in weaponry, and the pursuit of this kind of technology is what pushes the world forward. My lifelong goal has always been to become a foremost expert on all kinds of weapons, so I can invent even more advanced ones. So, I might have borrowed a few sensitive texts without permission, but you see the vision, right? The higher-ups in the academia just didn't understand.
The academia could have 1,001 reasons for exiling you out here, and it still wouldn't matter to me, son. All I care about is what this specialty of yours can do for us.
Hi. I can help upgrade your weaponry. That should come in handy in a dangerous place like the desert, surely.
True, weapons are essential to life here in the desert. Most folks get them when merchants happen to pass through. But when it comes to protecting the people here, this scimitar in my hand is more than enough. The kind of weapons you're talking about are overkill for a place like this.
Overkill? Really?
Our group is lucky. Our ancestors learned how to protect the oasis from the sandstorms to prevent it from drying up. Plus, we're pretty far off the beaten path. Helps us avoid conflict with other bands of Eremites. All in all, we don't have to travel to find water. We don't have to fight off other desert folk. It's a real place. There are plenty of ways to die in the desert, but behind a lot of them lies too much ambition. So,
I see. Guess I could do some odd jobs then.
I've heard you Kasharawa scholars are handy with all kinds of gadgets. You could always make something for the kids.
You mean like toys?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. It'll give them something to do. Life can get boring out here.
All right then. And just like that, a Kasharawar scholar at the cutting edge of his field ended up in the desert, making toys for children. It got boring from time to time, but all in all, those days were quite pleasant. The Eremites accepted me as one of their own, and all the children loved me. Looking back now, I wish I could have lived like that until the end of my days. But then, those despicable people showed up, and it changed everything.
Gondana barra baja dice, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equaliz, la cheer lololo, la cheer equaliz, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equaliz, la cheer lololo, la cheer equaliz, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equaliz, la cheer lololo, la cheer equaliz, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equalizer, la cheer equaliz, la cheer lololo, la cheer equaliz, la cheer equalizer. Gondana barra baja dice, eso River. Gondana barra baja dice, Corvo 1, Corvo 1.
¿Llevo aquí cuánto? Caleta, weón.
Gondana barra baja dice, jajaja. Gondana barra baja dice, la cheer cheer.
A ver, digamos.
Don't rush me. These materials are in short supply.
Oh, they've got a lot of nerve showing their faces back here.
Send the gem? It has been a while.
Well, we have a right to this oasis too. Our ancestors were part of the group that discovered it.
You hated this place. After that giant sandstorm when everyone else was trying to figure out how to help, you got out of Dodge the first chance you could get.
Because I knew better than to be stubborn. Stay in one place too long around here, and it might just be your grave.
You abandoned this place. If we'd done the same, the Oasis wouldn't even exist anymore. You gave up your right to be here a long time ago.
I heard they joined another band of Eremites after leaving us, but got kicked out. I bet they're only crawling back to us now because they've got nowhere else to go.
Chief, should we drive him off?
I'd like to see you try. I'm warning you. You won't get rid of us that easily.
Leave them be. This oasis has always been big enough to sustain more than one group of people. It's not worth spilling blood over. All that matters is keeping the people here safe.
At the time, I didn't think much of it. Just Chaim Wazet being the kind-hearted man he always had been. And so, normal life continued, much unchanged. Well, mostly. You can take the scholar out of the academia, but putting your life's work behind you is easier. I often found myself flipping through my collection of blueprints and sketches. The ruin drakes, scattered around Sumeru, were of particular interest to me. As far as I knew, no one had been able to analyze or reproduce the technology within those mechanisms. But I was able to design a kind of lure to bait them into attacking a specific target, in effect, turning them into a weapon. Somehow, the new arrivals at the Oasis must have caught wind of it. Because they...
Hope you don't mind me asking, but is that a weapon you're researching?
I do mind, actually. It's none of your business.
Rumor is you used to be a researcher at the Academia. All that knowledge going to waste out here in the sticks. What a shame.
What do you want?
I want to team up. The rules and red tape that got you kicked out of the Academia, they don't exist in the desert. You could take this research to the next level. As things stand, all you've got is a blueprint and a pipe dream. But what if you had access to the right funds and materials?
What are you suggesting?
Me and my men can get you what you need. In return, all you gotta do is bring this sketch to life.
Puta la wea. Tentación.
We've always had a good eye for business. Just never the right product. But this thing right here, the different bands of Eremites are gonna shell out Mora left and right to get their hands on it.
You want to sell it?
It's a win-win. You provide the goods, and I earn enough Mora from these people to fund the research of your dreams.
I don't know.
I understand what you're worried about, but listen, it won't come back to bite the people here. These people don't think bigger than this place. They don't get involved in conflict. I mean, come on. Their biggest enemy is the weather.
You've made a bad name for yourself around here. I don't want any part in this.
Well, it's your choice. But it could be the last meaningful choice you ever get in life. So I'll ask you again. Do you want to finally develop the weapons you've been dreaming of and realize your academic ambitions? Or do you want to stay here building toys for kids?
How I wish I'd made the right choice back then.
Yeah, we increased our prices. What about it? You gonna back out?
So, you're really as money hungry as they all say, huh?
Cash is king. That's just business.
Fine.
I'm done. I want out.
What are you talking about? We're making bank here.
I know what the weapons have been used for, and I refuse to be an accomplice to all this any longer.
An accomplice? Listen, that's got nothing to do with us. People would be at each other's throats with or without our
No,
weapons.
que una vez
So they died
dentro
to a
cagaste,
machine
po, weón.
instead of a scimitar. What difference does it make?
Can't you sell more than just weapons? Surely this can't be all the Eremites are interested in buying.
If you want to make the big Mora, you gotta push what sells. That's just how it is.
And that right there is why I want out.
Fine. I've made more than enough to leave this dump in the dust anyway. If you want out so bad, have it your way.
No creo que lo haya dejado salirse tal cual, weón.
What was that? No.
Hijos del copy, weón.
Kaem was it. How did this happen?
You won't find a tribe in this desert without enemies. People have tried to steal water from this oasis in the past, but Kayem Wazet drove them off. Guess his enemies have been holding a grudge this whole time.
You sold weapons to his enemies. But he took you in when you had nowhere to turn. You owe him your life. Why would you do this?
Mira qué bastardo culiao,
It
weón.
was the perfect excuse to drive up the price, that's why.
It was only later that I found out. This wasn't the first time Senegem and his men had turned around and stabbed their allies in the back. Let's just say there was a good reason they had nowhere else to turn back then. I didn't chase after them or try to hold them accountable. In that moment, all I could think about was saving as many people as I could. But once the weapons I designed were turned against us, the fate of this place was sealed in the end. Despite all of the burning tents I rushed into, I was only able to save 3 children. And now, you know the full account of my crimes. I've been raising them ever since, while attempting to hunt down the men who made them orphans in
La
the first
Chiri
place.
dice, ese Ribor, gracias por ese lurkeito, ya voy a descansar.
Ya, muchas gracias también a ti por haber, y a Gondana por haberme despertado, me había quedado dormido.
This confession is for the kids to read too. So, I hope you'll pass it along to them. I know I'm in no position to make requests. Please,
Muchas gracias por
La
esos
Chiri
besitos.
dice,
them
Show
find
Love
loving
20.
parents to take them in. Above all else, they deserve
Ay,
a true
Kokoro.
family.
Muchas gracias. Ay, tanto texto, weón. Da sueño, weón.
Back then, I failed to see this through to the end.
Jeez. If this is true...
He's after the same target as us. And he's out for revenge.
He even lured us to Notcry to help him get it.
I think I know what he's planning to do with those ballistas now. If I'm right, this doesn't bode well.
Then we need to find him ASAP! It sounds like he's about to do something super dangerous. But we promised the kids we'd bring him back safe.
I can't just let him get
Claro.
rid of our target either. This crime ring runs deep. There are still many other conspirators we need to track down.
¿A dónde lo vamos a encontrar?
Oh?
You got something?
He knew we'd be out of the picture investigating this place. I think he decided to spring the trap that we set up.
¿Va a tenderle una emboscada al objetivo?
Oh, snap. He's not working for them. So our original plan could have worked all along.
The meeting will be happening any time now. Quick, we need to head to the rendezvous point.
Vale, me soltaron. A ver, tengo que ir para allá. Ah, la chucha, weón. Ah, pero hay un TP. Hermoso.
Ashvapati.
Oliwis?
It's been a while, Senegem. Over a decade at least.
How did you find this place?
All these years. And the signal you use for the meetup point still hasn't changed. All I had to do was pose as your point of contact. And fish a time and date out of that scout you sent.
Useless bunch of idiots. Just wait until my backup gets here.
Oh, I think that might take a while. The Fontaine and Liyue authorities have your men locked down tight.
No. There's no way the cops could have known we'd be here.
A menos que...
Unless, of course, someone deliberately left a trail of clues, leading them straight to the expo. That would be a different story, now wouldn't it? If they hadn't taken your agents out of the equation, I doubt I would have been able to lure you here.
So now what? You gonna turn me in too?
No. The authorities can have your men.
Chucha.
But you're mine.
Is that Fatui tech? Looks like your skills are as good as ever. Listen, I know you're mad that I've been racking up Mora without you all these years, but it looks like you still got it. If you want back in, we can work something out.
No quiere volver, pues, ahueonado.
After everything that happened, what makes you think I would want back in?
Because what's the alternative? You're not here for revenge, are you? After Kayemwazet took you in, you really convinced yourself you were one of them, huh? What you should have learned is that banking on loyalty and belonging is a losing hand. Better to cash out before you're in the hole. In the desert, my people live by one rule and one rule alone. The last laugh doesn't go to the righteous. It belongs to the one who knows how to cut their
Yo soy
losses.
más honesto, no, po.
Just look at me. When there's more to be earned in the desert, I'm a desert folk. When the opportunities in Fontaine are sweeter, I'm a Fontanian.
You think everyone is as much of a lowlife as you?
A lowlife? There's nothing Mora can't buy, Ashvapati. That includes prestige. You're talking to a renowned Fontanian philanthropist who lives in the Vasari Passage and spends his days going from one grand banquet to the next. Nobody who counts would dare call me a lowlife.
Juan presumiendo su posición, po, weón.
Are you done?
Clearly there's no reasoning with you. Fine. Have it your way. But if you want me dead so bad, why'd you come to face me alone? That wasn't the wisest decision now, was it?
No creo que haya venido solo, weón.
Don't you worry. I brought plenty of firepower with me. You could have brought a whole army for all I care. These
What the? Are you crazy? If that thing fires, you're not getting out of here alive either.
Yes, that's the plan. It's high time both of us paid the price for our sins.
Julio kamikaze, weón.
He's lost his mind. Get him! Start breaking his bones until he removes this barrier.
Hold it right there, all of you! Otherwise, I've got enough firepower to go around, too.
The Maison Gardiennage!
You got here sooner than I expected.
Hey! What's that in the sky? Looks like bad news!
Ashvapati, you have my word that these people will face the judgment of the Fontaine courts. Remove the barrier and come with us at once.
Fontanian justice is too merciful for them. You should leave us.
Stubborn fool.
Ay, puta, weón. Pero piensa en tus sobrinos.
I don't deserve them. I have to atone for the things I've done.
What is it you feel you need to atone for? Weapons research?
You're from Liyue, right? Your ancestors were the first people to master the recipe for gunpowder. And yet, they turned it into fireworks and firecrackers that even shoot. Surely, it's choices like that which make Liyue what it is today. I hear that it's a very peaceful place to live for the most, but me? I chose to use my research skills to create weapons of war that brought death to countless people and destroyed the only home those kids had. That's...
Sounds like you don't know as much as you think about fireworks. They might be harmless fun in this day and age, but they started out as weapons too, you know.
Bueno, tiene razón.
What?
That's right. Fireworks and firecrackers were originally developed for use as weapons. They needed something a little more powerful than usual for purging evil forces and scaring off wild beasts. Over time, evil spirits learned to fear the sight of flames, and the beasts retreated into the mountains. That's when people started repurposing fireworks for entertainment. The peace we enjoy today isn't because we chose to make toys instead of weapons. The weapons are what secured us the peace in the first place. Only then did we have the luxury of choosing to turn them into toys instead.
Puta, una buena forma de verlo también.
It's people, not weapons, that commit acts of evil. And when people are as bent on destruction as the evil forces and beasts faced by our forebears, whatever tools they have at their disposal end up as weapons.
time is running out. Please. Leave while you still can.
Relax. Now that we have these guys in custody, I think we can find a way of repurposing these ballistas for the children's amusement.
¿Cómo? Ay. Muchas gracias, la Chiri. Uy. Ajá. Luego siguió hinchando las pelotas, weón.
I knew they were looking for trouble, but they messed with the wrong manager.
Va a interceptar los misiles que Won lanzó, ¿o no? ¿De cuántos lanzó, weón? Porque veo que lanzó dos nomás, pues, weón.
Captain, we're in position.
Prepare to intercept! On my signal!
Ah, sí, pues. Ah, weón, lanzó más que la chucha, pues, weón. Solo se veían dos al principio. Pero mira, pues, weón. Van a pasar piola ahora. Daddy.
A fireworks show? Oh.
También siento que un bombardeo se escucha como si fueran fuegos artificiales, ¿eh?
Recording mode on.
Has this always been part of the show?
Mira, weón, le hicieron pasar piola.
No funny business.
I never imagined the Guizhong ballista could be used for something so...
Yo sí lo veía venir.
If you'll agree to come with us and answer some questions, it would be a big help to our investigation.
Of course. You'll have my full cooperation. I know I'm guilty. Just...
Bueno, el weón se robó los torpedos y los desactivó y los lanzó, pues, weón.
Honestly, me neither. I'm sure a case like yours would have Fontaine's top legal experts scratching their heads. As for these arms dealers, though, I can confidently say that none of them will be getting away with this. So at least you can take some solace in that. I know, there's no sentence the court can give them that will satisfy you. But at least the trial will be a public declaration of their crimes and the punishment they will receive. The victims deserve that much. Considering the alternative was them dying in obscurity to a revenge killing with no one left behind to tell the story. This
Bueno,
looks
sí,
more like
son
real justice to me.
criminales internacionales, pues. Tienen que llevarla a juicio, pero ahora... ¿Juicio dónde? ¿En Liyue? En el container. Porque aquí no hay ley, po. Aquí de hecho pueden haber hecho lo que quieran, po. Ahora, han sido capturados porque han traficado en container y en Liyue. Por eso los capturaron. Juguete para niños. Migajas.
Opening a chest is like unwrapping a gift.
Creo que esto se hace por abajo. No. No hay una cueva acá. ¿Hola?
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Hola. Oye, hay todo un sector acá, pues, bueno. Pero está bloqueado. Ni por idea cómo se abre.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Aún no entiendo muy bien cómo funcionan estas cosas, weón. Oh. Esperemos 2 días. Entonces voy a buscar agüita.
What do you think they did with Ashvapati in the end? Let's go ask them for an update.
Yo pienso que quizá por la cooperación, quizá lo dejen el libro con... ¿cómo se llama esto? ¿Bajo fianza? Quizá.
Weather is awesome. Bring it.
Ahí está Dori. Hollywood.
Great! Everyone's in one place.
Now that we are on the other side of this incident, I suggest we put any remaining questions to rest here and now. The Voynich Guild won't be responsible for any disputes remaining after this meeting.
Understood. Well, there's been no serious harm to me or any of my
Mhm.
compatriots. And with the arms dealing operation closed down, I've achieved my strategic objective. I'm happy to let the Fontaine authorities process the culprits from here on.
I appreciate your flexibility. I'll need all of them in my custody to proceed with the case files. As for you,
No.
given your association with the Voynich Guild, I suspect the boss of the Curatorium might raise some objections if I insisted on bringing you into custody as well.
Ah, bueno, sí.
Then what do you propose, Miss Chevreuse?
¿Qué agarrajo comunitario?
While pursuing one of the suspects in this case, it was unfortunately necessary for me to destroy a certain signboard in Nasha Town.
Ah, verdad.
Is that an official confession, officer?
What I'm suggesting is that I don't file charges against Ashvapati, he stays here, and in return, you don't seek damages for the signboard. Sound fair?
Deal.
Huh. That went surprisingly smoothly. Paimon figured it was gonna be a whole ordeal.
Uncle Ashvapati,
They told us the whole story. Everything you've done. Even so, we still want you as our uncle.
Ay, qué tierno, weón.
If you'd been less trusting of the promises these men made to you back then, and left some weapons for your own people to defend themselves with, maybe things would have turned out differently. The way I see it, your crime wasn't the weapons research itself. It was failing to use that knowledge sensibly, to protect the ones you cared about.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Well then, what are you waiting for? The chance to atone for real is staring you right in the
Obvio.
face.
A crear estos cabros chicos, weón.
Children, from now on, I will protect.
Traveler, Yelan, on behalf of the Fontaine authorities, It has been a pleasure working with you both. I wish you all the best.
I have plenty of other business to attend to, so it's probably about time I got going as well. See, looks like you're a free man.
I guess, but even if they won't arrest me, I still have a lot to answer for. I joined the Voynich Guild with my own agenda and nearly
No
ruined
creo
their
que sea
reputation.
sin más. Yo creo que le va a
Are you
hacer,
really gonna let
le va
me
a
get
pedir
away
parte
with
de
that?
cosita, ¿o no?
After you joined us, it didn't take me long to find out that you'd lied about nearly everything. Everything except your desert origins. That turned out to be true. I actually consider the desert my home too, so I was interested to learn who the real Ashvapati was. Thanks to the Traveler, I now know the full story. And my, what a story it is. Granted, the final chapter caused us a fair amount of trouble.
Are you serious?
I mean, obviously I can't let you stay in the guild. Not after all the rules you broke.
Pero
I completely understand.
I'd recommend that you take these kids back to the desert.
Why?
Pero tienen ropas de... La ropa se parece más de container, o sea, de Natlan, que de Sumeru.
The desert has been plagued by seemingly endless conflict since as far back as I can remember. But your story offers a glimpse of a different way of life. Maybe there really is hope for peace in the desert. The Sumeru of today is a different world than what it once was. With Lesser Lord Kusanali at the helm, who knows where the possibilities end? Maybe you could rebuild the home these kids once knew.
¿Pero por qué enfocan a Dory, weón?
I'm flattered, really. But that was a lifetime ago. I'm sure the sandstorms will have buried any last trace of that oasis by now. Sure, we could put up a few tents and call it a settlement. But what then? It would be a brutally harsh existence.
Where there's Mora, there's always a way. Hello, my dear customer. Why don't you discuss your needs with me? If you can dream it, you can buy it.
So Mora is the answer, huh? All right. Say I wanted to buy a hometown for these children. You telling me I can buy that from you?
Don't take her so literally. She's just doing her sales pitch. Sure can. Huh?
Creo que se sorprende con si es verdad.
Ta-da! I present to you one magical gemstone created by none other than the renowned mage Alice herself. Simply plant it in the ground and a spring will instantly start growing. Before long, you'll have yourself a fully fledged oasis. And the best part is, it's designed to work flawlessly, even in the most arid and sandiest of deserts.
What the?
Huh. Looks genuine to me.
Goodness. They always say you can find everything at the Not Cry Trade Expo. Turns out it's more than just marketing hyperbole. Still, surely a treasure like this must cost the world. As much as I...
Actually, this could be your lucky day. The mage who tasked me with selling this insisted on setting the price herself. And she priced it as whatever keeps the kids happy. Needless to say, I could have found far more lucrative options. But alas, none of them would be worth breaking a promise to a mage over.
Esta sabe que no hay que hacer enojar a la bruja, weón.
Whatever keeps the kids happy? So what is that in Mora?
Good question. I got it! How about I charge you whatever you three kids earned at the expo? Then you can say you bought back your hometown through nothing but your own hard work.
Oh, buena idea.
I think that would keep the kids very happy indeed. Wouldn't you agree?
Deal!
No. Prende la imagen, weón.
Well, this was a strange turn of events.
Condore nunca sabe qué esperar.
I think it's safe to say that this was one of the more memorable trade expos.
Terminé el evento. ¿Mm? ¿Vino?
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Ah, mira. Hay un puerto de mustard. Hola.
Sir, we don't forbid exhibitors from offering drink samples, but I need to make sure you understand what you're getting into. Any samples you offer are at your own risk. If anything goes wrong, like if a customer has a bad reaction to one of your products,
Rest assured, ma'am, what you see here is 100% pure Mondstadt vintage. Straight from the Dawn Winery's cellars, actually.
Really? Wow-wee! You don't often find Mondstadt wine this far away from home.
You're telling me. If you try to ship this stuff through the proper channels, all the taxes and tariffs would send the prices skyrocketing. But that's where my connections come in. With me, you get Mondstadt wine at Mondstadt prices.
Interesante.
Cool! What kind of connections? Hey! You can't go around asking people questions like that!
Sí, pues se recuerda que sigue siendo un mercado negro, pues weón. Hola, Liven.
It's our old pal, Lieben!
Oh, it's you two! Been a while, hasn't it?
Así es.
Wait, you know this guy too? Okay, I'm slowly starting to get why Boss Neff asked you to help me out.
Ah, you must be the expo manager. Was there something you needed from me?
Nope, just checking in. You're just selling a few ordinary items, is that right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Okay. I mean, we've got people selling toys this year, so why not?
You seem confused. In the right environment, ordinary items don't have to fetch an ordinary price, you know? I'm sure I'll meet someone at this trade expo who recognizes their hidden value.
Cool. Well, you do you. I'm certainly not gonna stop you.
What about you, friend? Care to do some business?
¿Ya no vendes cajas raras?
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the ones in my inventory to purchase this batch of goods. The ones you see here are just for decoration.
Vale.
But I'm confident that I can make a killing here, so I'll be sure to make another batch of Boxer Marvels should the opportunity arise later.
Hola.
Wait, that's a familiar face. Isn't that Viswava?
Why, if it isn't the Traveler. Knew there'd be some big names here.
Supongo que la debo conocer.
Let's get the official business over with first. Unfortunately, you're the first seller at the expo to receive a complaint. We've received word that the muskets you're selling are a few shots away from turning into scrap.
Chucha.
Well, yeah. It's written here plain as day. Muskets for sale. Condition extremely poor. The internal grooves have been worn away and the ammo might be damp. Best practice is to pray that it doesn't explode before each use.
¿Y por qué vende eso, weón?
Wait, so you weren't speaking in code to cover your tracks?
Code?
Yeah, sometimes people bring stuff that needs to be kept on the down low. So they dress it up as junk beforehand. Happens on the black market all the time.
Así que la weá es malita para pasar las piolas. Y no, pues de verdad está vendiendo weá mala.
This stuff really is junk. We were just gonna scrap them, but my superiors thought we might as well try and make some more off of them. And who knows? If the prayers are answered and the gun ends up firing a few times, the buyer hasn't totally wasted their money, have they?
Guess not.
I mean, a weapon on the brink of ruin that's still capable of considerable firepower. Doesn't that just scream black market to you?
Yeah, but who would buy something like this?
Gente tacaña.
Maybe collectors who don't care
También.
if it works. And desperados who don't care if it explodes.
Fair enough.
Hola.
Welcome to the Treasure Hoarder booth.
El ladrón, pues bueno.
Treasure hoarders have a booth?
Yep, every year. This is the largest legal black market in all of Teyvat. The stuff they dig up is perfect for a place like this.
But can one person really represent their entire organization?
No way. Treasure Hoarder is just a catch-all title. Their internal structure is crazy complicated.
Interesante.
The thing is, the members who'd apply to set up the exhibits used to give themselves ever more highfalutin titles. You know, to boost buyer confidence. Over time, it became an unwritten rule that each expo can only have one Treasure Hoarder booth. The different factions usually duke it out beforehand for the right to take part.
To be honest, I see myself as a member of the Fruity Order first, and a Treasure Hoarder second.
Fruity Escuadrón del Orden. Y luego miembros del Ladrón Tesoro.
Of course it does. The Fruity Order is known far and wide for its heroic deeds.
The Fruity Order's a familiar name around here, at least. They've been winning the Treasure Hoarder Expo rights for a few years now. Although, this guy's a new...
Netland. Por la Resplendo, ¿no?
This exhibitor's demands are ridiculous.
What's wrong?
This exhibitor is apparently selling some rare Natlanese artifacts. And he's making some extremely unrealistic demands about how he wants them stored. I know the contract says that we're responsible for storage, but I'm sorry, it's unreasonable.
Unreasonable? These are rare and very fragile historical relics we're talking about. You can't just throw them into a warehouse, okay? They have to be handled with care.
Tú vienes de los augures vientos nocturnos, ¿no?
Tumaini?
Ajá. ¿Cómo está, señor? Sí, sí, soy tu mami.
Yep, that's Hermione, all right. So, what exactly do you need?
Well, I suppose I can use the assigned warehouse if I really have to. Just don't tell Granny Eatsley about this, please.
Ok, pues... hace un placer hacer negocios contigo. Pues bueno, se estaba bueno pretencioso ya que nadie lo conocía acá. Pero claro, apreció yo y fue como, me bajé el tonito con Chetomare.
Whatever Tumaini means, it seems like it carries even more weight than name-dropping Boss Neff.
Dori, ¿cómo estás?
Uh-oh, it's Lord Songima Bay. Oh, I wonder what we're in for this time. Well, hello. Is that the Traveler and our dearest Miss Expo manager Yehoda? You're in luck. I'm offering a whole host of Expo exclusive discounts. Don't miss out.
Paimon's not remotely surprised to see Dory here. This event's practically made for her.
Yeah, she attends religiously every year. And she's always the seller who we get
Puta
the
la
highest
wea.
number of complaints about.
Bueno, es que vende cada wea.
Complaints? Every single Mora I make from this expo is 100% legitimate. I've never broken the rules, and my prices are entirely fair. If people regret their purchases and want to grumble about it behind my back, that's not my problem.
Paimon can hazard a guess as to why people might be complaining.
I know. And every dispute ends in your favor after you've peppered the buyer with 1,000,001 reasons why you're not in the wrong. It's just, could you maybe not find a way to send every single one of your customers complaining to me this time? I'm begging you, Lord Songema Bay, for me, please.
¿Para hacer venir a ver a Dori?
How about this? A special opening sale just for Miss Yehoda. 50% off! In other words, I'll do my very best to keep the number of complaints down to no more than half of my customers.
Jeez, what a bargain!
Works for me, I guess.
Ah, los cabros chicos.
Have you been to the Clink Clink Krumkake Craft Shop's booth yet? They're selling blueprints for a machine. With everything Uncle's taught me, I bet I could build one of those thwack and smack defense bots. We should buy a blueprint.
Sounds like a waste of money to me. We should be spending our expo earnings on more important stuff like clothes.
But Uncle said the most important thing is that we have fun.
Guys, please don't fight!
I hate to break it to you, but I'm afraid no one really comes to this expo looking to buy toys. If you make any more here, it won't be nearly enough to buy yourselves a blueprint. I doubt it'll even cover your new clothes.
Oh! Hi, Yehoda! Hi, Traveler!
Hola.
I came here to make sure you kids stay safe, so listen carefully. If you want to look around the expo, that's fine, but you need to be extremely careful when talking to any strangers. Okay? A lot of crazy people show up to this expo, both sellers and buyers. You don't know what they might be capable of. So if anything happens, don't try to deal with it yourselves. Call for me.
Oye, ya le
right
quisieron
away.
quitar
You got that?
el local antes, así que tengan cuidado.
Yehoda's really serious about looking out for these kids.
Well, it's kinda my job. I'm supposed to be the one
Bueno,
in
eso es verdad.
charge. Oh, just take a look around. This booth is the only one being run by a bunch of kids. If there's anyone out there aiming to cause trouble, you can...
Una tacita. Café preparado para mi misma verduga del justiciasco. Ah, qué buena onda. Interesante. ¿Y en mi taza hay algo? ¿Hay jugo de fruta? Mm, me encanta. Mm.
I feel like running. I'll race you there. It's her,
Ay.
the boss of the Spina di Rosula. Huh? Uh-oh, things are about to kick off.
Oh.
What are you worried about, Yehuda?
Shh! Don't you see him over there? Parasol Lady's the head honcho of the Fontanian underworld. Rumor is she pulled the crumbling organization back together and avenged her father with her own hands. Oh, we don't want to get on her bad side. An eye patch over there is a merc captain from Liyue. She has a fleet of her own that sails the seas. Most people know
Bueno, eso
to
es verdad.
steer
Son dos
clear.
personas brígidas.
I was worried this expo might not be big enough for the two of them, if you catch my drift. So I kept their booths far apart. Looks like they wound up meeting in the end, though. You don't think they're butting heads already, do you? What am I
Yo me
gonna...
encargo.
Hey guys! What's up?
Hola.
Oh, hey there, partner in Paimon.
Partner?
¿Verdad? Pues Jajoga no sabe que nosotros nos conocemos, pues.
Can't go far in my line of work without hearing about the president of the Spina di Rosula or the champion duelists of the court of Fontaine. Thought I'd make some friends since the opportunity's presenting itself.
Ya que se ha presentado así la oportunidad, he pensado que voy a conocerlo.
Plus, now that the traveler has arrived, I wonder if these ladies might just agree to coming aboard for a drink.
What's the traveler got to do with that?
You're too kind, Miss Beto.
So, the thing is, over there is a friend of ours. She's managing the expo, and seeing as you're all big shots where you come from, she was worried you might, butt heads.
Is that so? Well, I think you can put her at ease.
Yeah, and if there's anything we can do to help, just say the word.
Claro, es que si se ve desde fuera, claro, podría creer que podría haber roces entre ellas, pues, pero no, tan de pana. Además que saben que estamos ahí nosotros como intermediarios. Qué panas. Bueno, llevo mucho tiempo viajando. Hmm. Ya, a ver, voy a hacer uno de cada uno y con eso ya voy a estar listo. Estúpido. Ah, bueno, menos mal me mandaron para acá directo. Oh. Aumenta el daño de cristalización lunar. Mi caballo creo que estamos fuertes. ¿Niro? Que aquí la defensa principal serían sería Furina y la caballa, po.
Locked and loaded, waiting on your signal.
Lofty wisdom will show us the way. Be cleansed. Fluff the dust. Time to shine. Dance with the waves. Here. Show 'em, Louie. Like it or love it, as you like it.
Careful! Hold out till fire support arrives.
Fluff the dust.
Fire support ready. Select the target.
Qué robotcito, weón.
Switch to ground attack shells. Increase firepower. Nice! Good shooting!
All eyes on me.
Ah, conche tu madre.
Ella está poseída.
Hola, Cángel, ¿cómo estás?
Puede salvarla.
¿La banda?
No.
El Arcángel nos acaba de hacer una raid con 2 personas, o gatos. Ari el gato, José y más. El Arcángel dice, buenas.
Buenas.
Nada, solo un domino.
Ahí está su deseo, amigo.
Fue un accidente, juro que fue un accidente. No lo veo en el clip, ¿no? Hola.
El Arcángel dice, como ESTSA.
Con un poquito de sueño, pero terminando el evento. Me falta hacer los minijuegos nomás. Esto me recuerda al... este juego del... Planta vs Zombie, weón. Domínalo. Bueno, como tutorial estuvo piola. Ah, ¿ahí no? ¿O no?
If you want to drum up some business, all you gotta do is holler, and everyone on the first floor will be able to see you. Also, you have to come this way to get to the second floor, which pretty much guarantees that everyone attending the expo will notice you guys at some point. Not bad, huh? Thanks to the spot I saved you, you guys will be drowning in business before you know it.
Your point being? Cross-referencing Yehoda's current facial expression against database. Confirmed. Analysis suggests that Yehoda hopes we will return the favor.
You bet I do. At least Robo-Girl gets it. Okay, how do we do that?
Generating proposal. Complete. Yehoda, the next time you visit the workshop, I will reserve the seat closest to the hallway for you.
Huh?
This seat provides priority access to any dessert items delivered from the kitchen. It is also free from window glare and sits at optimal proximity to the teapot. By reserving this premium spot for you, I can guarantee you a most enjoyable dessert sampling experience.
¿Aceptas el juego?
Is this your idea of a fair trade? Are you kidding me? That spot's usually reserved for me. I'd never let you take it if I didn't have my dessert budget to consider. What's going on? Yehoda looks upset.
El Arcángel
Vale, amigo.
dice, bueno, iré a dormir que ya es tarde.
Sí, sí, yo también.
El
Apenas
Arcángel dice, saludos.
haga un minijuego de cada uno, me voy a acostar.
All right, I'll level with you. Since I saved you such a great spot for your booth and all, could you possibly lend me some technical support? Please?
El Arcángel dice, y feliz día del trabajador que se me pasó XD.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. No, yo descansé bien merecido este día. Estuve debajo todo el día. Ay, fue hermoso. Fue hermoso. Sí, este vendría siendo ya. ¿Cuál es? Mi. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Creo que es mi séptimo u octavo día de trabajo que he celebrado. Ay, hoy cómo pasa el tiempo, weón. Ya voy por una década, weón, de laburo. Ay.
Technical support?
Se siente como si hubiera sido ayer, nomás que ya comencé a trabajar.
This year's expo is way bigger than ever before, which means there's definitely gonna be more shenanigans going down too. I know, surely you have some kind of contraption that can, like, scare everyone at the expo into compliance or something. As the manager, I need something I can fall back on in case the you-know-what hits the... let me think. If things escalated that far, shouldn't you just report it to Nefer instead of trying to deal with it Well, yes, technically speaking. But if, for example, it was somehow kind of my fault to begin with.
¿De qué problema hablamos?
Remember those 3 kids? Well, that punk who was harassing them wasn't just some random nobody. He was just the one that got picked to stir things up. There's a whole
Vale.
bunch of people
Por
here
eso
who aren't
en la
happy with the
cinemática
situation.
le volví a pegar, pues bueno.
Now, obviously, they don't have the guts to pick a fight with the Voynich Guild directly, but apparently they at least have the guts to harass 3 kids outside the confines of the The problem is, I'm not really supposed to get involved with anything that isn't strictly to do with the expo, so the whole thing would kind of be hard to explain to Neff. Not that I regret what I did, but jeez, Yehoda, you sure know how to make life harder for yourself. Okay, yeah. Sounds like we need to be smart about this.
¿Podrías ayudar a Jajoda?
Fine. Just this once, I guess I can lend you the Clink Clank Crisis Control Switch.
Agreed. This option meets Yehoda's requirement for an expo-wide intimidation strategy.
Bueno.
The Clink Clank Crisis Control Switch. What's that? This little guy right here. I made it recently after getting myself into a really sticky situation. To activate the switch, you just need to give him 3 taps on the head. If you do that, there's pretty much nothing in Notcry that you won't be able to handle. Really? So what actually happens when you activate it? You'll find out if it comes to it. But I'm only letting you use it once, so you better save it for when you really need it.
Okay, cool. I'll take your word for it.
Trato. Oye, mira, el Paquito está aquí cerquita, weón. Ah, no, está lejos, weón. Se veía cerca. Hola.
This is just a simulation, but be on your guard.
I've activated a backup energy source for you. Keep at it!
¿Vale? Vale. Creo que con eso estamos bien. Hice uno de todo. Ya el resto ya lo haría fuera de directo. ¿Cierto? Hmm. A una historia que tengo que ir desbloqueando.
Watch out, do ya, Hoda?
Hola.
Just keeping an eye on things. Looking out for any problems that might need me to step in.
Hey, you three! What are you doing here? There should be at least one of you manning the booth at all.
Accessing booth operation logs. Analyzing. Neb left to try and buy a new blueprint. Ati soon followed to try and stop him. Finally, Rhea came to mediate between them.
I keep telling you, we don't have that much Mora to spare!
I just wanted to have a look. What's wrong with that?
Guys, seriously, stop fighting! Here's the thing, Neb. Even if you could afford to buy a blueprint, I'm afraid I couldn't allow it. I know you like building stuff, but these designs aren't for toys like the kind
No,
you're used
pues
to.
arma.
They're for weapons, which are very complicated to build and extremely dangerous.
That's a load of baloney, dumpster diver. My designs are toys too, actually.
Huh? You build a machine that can blast monsters into the sky, and in your mind, that's a toy?
I mean, at the end of the day, is there really that much difference between weapons and toys anyway?
Puta la wea.
Not where Knuckle Duckle's concerned. That's for sure.
Ugh, that's not the point. Anyway, you there with the brown hair, you want a blueprint?
Yeah! I want to make some thwack and smack defense bots too.
I get it. Your head's so full of ideas you want to bring to life that you can hardly sleep at night. You try eating some snacks to take your mind off things, but it doesn't seem to help anymore.
Exactly! But what can I...
Well, you must have blueprints for the toys you've made too, right? Let's trade! One of your toys for one of mine.
Really? Thank you so much, ma'am! Is it ma'am, or...
It's Boss. Boss of the Clink Clank Krumgaki Craft Shop.
Thank you so much, boss of the Clink Clank Krumkake Craft Shop. Huh, that was very thoughtful. Who are you, and what have you done with Aino?
What's that supposed to mean? I'm a boss, aren't I? A lot of people depend on me. Looking out for them is a big part of the job.
Vale.
Did that really just happen? For a moment there, Aino stopped being a little kid and acted like a full-on grown-up. A grown-up who's shorter than the kid she was looking out for, but still.
Previous records indicate that Aino has a 94% chance of adopting such behaviors when encountering a child in a similar situation to herself.
Me quedan 7 más. Ah, pero mira, desbloqueé este. Ya, pero lo voy a dejar hasta acá. Porque quiero ir a acostarme. Bueno. El de pelea es algo que no me gustó porque es pajero. Bueno. Vale. Hola, el Richard. Y adiós, el Richard. Voy a acostar.
El Richard 505 dice, ¿qué tal? Bastante tiempo que ya no veía tus streams.
Nah, pero está bien. Hay que hacer cosas importantes por la vida. Lo directo es algo opcional. Muy bien, aquí estamos bien. Mira quién está acá. Hola. Ah, claramente era un bla bla.
El Richard 505 dice, recuerdo que prendías tu cámara, siempre tan elegante pero ahora ya no prendes.
Es que a esta hora de la noche ya tengo una cara de poto, weón, que prefiero no prender la cámara. Pero, a ver, de las 5 horas, uy, 5 horas. De las 5 horas que he estado, estuve como 2, 3. La primera hora siempre estoy con cámara. O casi siempre. Pero con Genshin es una excepción. Como es tanto bla
El
bla,
Richard 505
apago la
dice,
cámara.
entendible.
Cuando juego Genshin, por lo general apago la cámara. Porque es mucho bla bla, weón. Entonces me canso leyendo, weón. De hecho me quedo dormido, creo que como media hora.
Ah, traveler. Paimon, how do you do?
¿Han venido a comprar armas malas?
That's our secondary goal. To put it in Mr. Flintz's words, it's important for Lightkeepers to spend some time in the land of the living every once in a while.
That sounds like something he'd say, yeah. Are you interested in these muskets? Since we're friends, Paimon will let you in on some insider info. This
Oh, I'm well aware. The sign makes that quite clear.
true.
Pero hay gente buena que lo compra y se quejan.
I'm interested in this particular piece because it brings to mind a picture I once saw. It featured several Ratniki and a Fatui officer who fought alongside them. The weapon that the latter used was identical to this one.
The Fatui teamed up with the Lightkeepers?
That's not unusual. I've heard similar stories from our older members. The owner of this musket must have been a hero who stood against the Wild Hunt as well. But why would you sell a hero's firearm?
That's just how the rules work on our end. Everyone agreed to it. Whether it's a no-name sergeant like me or a renowned hero, our equipment is to be collected and redistributed once we're dust on the wind. The stuff that's usable is given to new recruits, and the scrap is sold for whatever price it can still fetch. That way, we can at least put it towards feeding the grunts, you know? Better than following them to the grave.
El Richard 505 dice, ya ni recuerdo si tenías comandos.
¿Comandos como tal? No, casi no tengo comando. Tengo canjes. O sea, la gente VIP tiene más comando. Ah, tengo la bola 8. La 8 Val. Si le haces una pregunta, te responde.
I think I'm going to buy this musket, Mr. Flintz. Could you tell me a few more stories about it when you get the chance?
Of course.
Hola.
Ahem. So what's the situation in need of mediation?
This person's been glaring daggers at me from behind since she arrived. Hey, you! I'm a member of the Fruity Order, you hear?
What a coincidence. So am I.
Ay, qué linda, weón.
Wait, really? I first encountered the humor and intelligence of trendy Zaytoon Peach in the New Tide anthology. Then I heard the legend of intrepid Valberry while I was in the Fortress of Meripede. The more I heard about your order, the more it drew. So when I heard that the Nodcry Trade Expo was being held again, I applied under your name. And now, I finally get to meet you.
It's those idiots. Stirring up trouble again, huh?
Entonces no era de ellos, pues, weón. Puta.
So what I'm getting is that this guy's an imposter?
Our orders won the expo rights several years in a row, so we announced that we were backing out of the running this year to avoid conflict. Then, this guy had to come along. A few of the other groups were looking to duke it out, so imagine their anger when someone claiming to be one of ours snatched the expo rights again.
Well, no one's made any trouble for me. Wait, does that mean you've taken them all out already? Man, I knew it! The Fruity Order's as good as they say! Can I join?
We can't make trouble at the expo. Voynich Guild rules. Once it's all over, meet me at the harbor in Nasha Town.
I see. All right, I'll be there.
Mira el culiao feliz, weón. Bueno, el weón quiere unirse a ellos, pues, weón. Y mira, lo consiguió.
Does he not realize what's going on here?
Also, considering our smooth collaborations thus far, a word of advice for the guild. This guy has only been able to keep his head in his booth because the Fruity Order took care of any rival factions. But if there's one thing the treasure hoarders have in spades, it's sore losers. Since our order has proven untouchable so far, they're sure to find easier targets to vent their frustration on. So look after those kids.
Huh. So this guy has been responsible for more than one conflict so far. There's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
Me faltan 5. Ya, lo voy a dejar para otro día. Ahora sí. Lo bueno es que en un tiempo normal no debería venir para acá, po. Y las misiones se activan cuando yo hablo, así que está bien. Ah, no, definitivamente lo voy a dejar hasta acá. Claro. Voy a salir de acá. Solo por si acaso. No vaya a activarse algo porque sí, bueno. A ver, ¿quién está en vivo por acá? A ver, alguien que se llama Calmi Vanés, que está jugando DVD. Ah, primero, hay alguien jugando Genshin. Takachi BT. Ya cuento uno. Ya no vamos a ir con el que está haciendo Genshin. Vale. Muchas gracias por acompañarme el día de hoy. Hoy avanzamos en el Koa y en el Genchito y dormimos un poquito. Está bien. A ver, mañana sábado, si prendo... No sé si prenda mañana. Si es que prendo, podría jugar algo de Digimon. O quizá algo de Superplex, no sé, ahí va a depender. Pero eso. Cuídense, pótense bien. Bye bye. Déjenme hacer la raid y nos vamos. Chao, chao. Muchas gracias a la Chiri por los 20 pitazos, Gondana también por el par de pitazos. Sima, gracias por la raid. Arcángel, gracias por la raid. Mary, gracias por el follow. Oye, Tagagachi me hizo la raid ayer. Ahora se lo vamos a devolver. Cuídense. Bye bye. Purina, ¿nos dirás algo hoy?
Ten cuidado conmigo, feo culiao. Mira que solo tengo que gritar. Y Niwilet vendrá y te sacará la concha su madre. Y tendrás que ir al hospital para que te saquen el zapato que tendrás bien metido en la raja. Besitos.